My name is Zeph Mbugua. I met James Gashui in 1980-81 at Railway Golf Club. We did not interact much until 1995. That was at the inception of Transcentury. We worked on building Transcentury into a team until 1997. Why did it take 2 years? Because it was necessary to sell a message. And the message that James was trying us to sell was to explain to the members that the country had economically gone so far down that when Moi left, there will be a change. And James had this clear message that those who are prepared will take advantage of the change. But in order to take advantage of the change, you needed to have a war chest. And James' idea was that we should put in at least 50 million shillings. So we set about looking for 50 Kenyans who could put 1 million shillings each. By the end of 2 years, we had only 29 people. And James said, we must start. So we started, but even then, we had only managed to raise 15 million. But that's what made the start of Transcentury. I want to say at the beginning that by the time James left us, we had already transformed the 15 million shillings to $250 million enterprise. How did we get to that? It meant a lot of hard work. In the first 10 years, we didn't have employees because we couldn't afford them. So it was James' office and my office working, reading documents, and James and I reading all the research documents, the due diligence papers, and understanding before we could place this before our board for approval to invest. In the very beginning, we did not only present to the board, we also needed to present to the shareholders. The number of questions shareholders ask, where you're going to put our money and why and how, can be very challenging. I can't forget how James would take that through the board meetings or the shareholder meetings easily, evenly, and we invested in every project that we presented to the board. But it was hard work. We would read, we would go through the papers, we would discuss the points ourselves, sometimes late into the 10 o'clock at night, and then we would break to go home and agree to start at a time the following day. And then I would receive this call from James saying, by the way, I'm a little bit farther ahead, I give you a further hour to catch up with where I am before we meet. And it was like that for literally every project. James was indefatigable. To get the projects to where we did meant a lot of work. It's a pity that James left us as soon as he did. But let me just say that James was an entrepreneur by excellence. I want just to remember two of the projects that we all know, Transcentury and Wananchi. But I'm sure others will talk about the other projects that he did.